Have you ever learned something powerful, like a tool or a framework for decision making, and thought, this will change everything for me? These are often called mental models. A mental model is just a way of seeing the world more clearly, almost like a lens or a shortcut for thinking. For example, the 80-20 rule is a mental model that says focus on the 20% of things that create 80% of the results. Now, when you learn these kinds of models, you feel more confident, more prepared, and ready for anything. But then the moment you actually hit a crisis, your mind goes completely blank. You freeze. It feels like all your preparation disappears in the exact moment you need it most. And if that sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're not weak, and it's not mental illness. What's happening is biology. And today, I'll show you why your brain does this, and more importantly, how to bring your thinking back online with a simple 5-step checklist you can use in any crisis. Hey, I'm Bill, and on this channel, you and I discuss life and the lessons learned. Now, if you're into that, let's get into it. Let's start with why this paralyzing uncertainty happens. When you're confronted with a crisis, maybe an argument, a health scare, or even a financial emergency, our nervous system doesn't go into rational thinker mode, it goes into survival mode. This is the fight, flight, or freeze response. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, hijacks your thinking. It pumps your body full of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles logic, decision making, and yes, all those mental models you've studied, it goes offline. That's why you can study frameworks all day long, but in the heat of the moment, your mind feels like it just vanishes. This isn't weakness, it's the way every human brain is wired. Now here's the other part of the equation. Is knowing something isn't the same as being able to recall it under stress. Think of it like martial arts. You can memorize all the moves in class, but in a real fight, only the things you've practiced to the point of muscle memory will show up. Mental models work the same way. They're powerful, but if you haven't trained yourself to access them automatically under stress, they won't be there when you freeze up. So the real challenge isn't just learning the mental models, it's deploying them in the moment that matters. That's where the crisis recall checklist comes in. It's a simple, repeatable 5-step process that helps you reset your body, re-engage your brain, and make one clear decision. Step 1, reset the body. Take a deep breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6 to 8. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. This signals safety to your nervous system and brings your prefrontal cortex back online. Now, step 2, ground yourself. Look around and name one thing you see, one thing you hear, and one thing you feel. This forces your brain back into the present moment instead of spiraling into panic. Step 3, ask your anchor question. Choose one question that acts as your mental trigger. These questions can help you get unstuck by shifting your focus. For example, you might employ the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule we talked about before, and ask, what's the single most important variable here? The via negativa approach asked, what's not true or relevant about this problem? Or what is this problem not? A classical Stoic would ask, what's the worst case scenario and can I handle it? You don't need 20 models in a crisis. You just need one good anchor to interrupt your fight or flight response. Now, step 4, you apply one model. Now that you've moved from a problem-focused mindset and out of the negative loop you were caught up in to a solution-oriented mindset, just pick the simplest, most relevant model for the situation. Perhaps prioritization is needed. What is urgent versus important? Second-order thinking is another good model. Rather than just looking at the initial outcome, consider what happens afterwards. Consider all probabilities. Ask what's most likely, not most scary. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Step 5, decide small. Break the freeze by taking one clear action, even if it's as simple as writing down the problem or making one phone call. I did this recently. I made a phone call, and a solution came within minutes. Action ends paralysis. That's the checklist. 5 steps. Short, repeatable, trainable. Now here's the key. This checklist works best when you practice it before the crisis hits. Try running through it in a small, low-stakes situation. For example, before a tough conversation at work, or when you get bad news in an email, even when you're stuck in traffic. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. And eventually, you'll find yourself reaching for this checklist instinctively instead of freezing. So, remember, freezing in a crisis doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do, keep you alive. But with the right tools, you can flip the switch back to clear thinking. Use this crisis recall checklist. Reset, ground, anchor, apply, decide. Simple, powerful, and life-changing when you need it most. Now, if you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone who might need it. Because, let's be honest, we all face crises, and the ability to think clearly when it matters most is one of the greatest skills any of us can develop.